G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. Just thought I would put up a video on a quick chat about what I've been up to. Last week I really haven't made any videos at all. Been doing a bit of testing. We had the distro challenge of PC Linux OS and I was going to make a video about that. Unfortunately I couldn't get sound going with simple screen recorder, and I tried everything I could and wasn't really successful with that, so I didn't really bother to continue any further with that. Now the other thing I've been up to is I've been looking at creating multi-boot USBs. Now I've had a multi-boot before, and the way I've done that before is in Windows 10 using VirtualBox. Now I'll show you the way that I normally do my multi-boots, because what I used to do is I used to make a multi-boot with a Windows 7, Windows 10 32-bit, Windows 10 64-bit, and about 8 to 10 Linux distros, all on the one disk. However, now that we've got UEFI in play, that's not happening. Now, the thing is, a lot of the distros, I think it's the distros, they do not make it capable of booting any distro on an MTF file system. Well, you can, because I've done that in Legacy. Now, I was doing that under a program called Easy to Boot. And what you would do is you would put your ISO in here, make partition image, and you would put it in the FAT32, and then it would come up here. Now that ISO would be a .img ptn ISO, and what that would do is on NTFS file, upon boot, it would act like it was on a FAT32 partition. Now that's what that used to do. So I would do that because you need to do Windows 10 on an NTFS because it's over 4 gig, and that's the problem. So I had a multi-boot disk that was booting Windows and also Linux as well. So I had all those disks on there. Now I got rid of that multi-boot USB because I wasn't really using it much. It was back then it was probably more of a challenge of getting it done. I did use it a few times, it come in handy, but now I don't have one. But I'm going to the eastern states, and I'm more than likely be going to installing a Linux on my brother's Windows 10 laptop, and I wanted to take a few of the top pick distros that I thought would be the best ones to show him. Now I got deep in here, but probably won't be giving him that. It's Linux Mint 19, Ubuntu 1804 proper, Ubuntu Budgie, Ubuntu Mate. Now also the Windows 10 I need, just in case things go a bit pear-shaped and he's not happy, then I can always reinstall that. We could probably show him the live disks anyway, and it probably doesn't matter. So there's a program called, if we have a look in here, it's called Yummy. Now this thing here is Yummy UEFI. Now I've tried making a multi-boot out of that. It doesn't work. It does work if it's done in FAT32 and it's Linux only, because they are under 4 gig, but the Windows doesn't work. I've also tried Easy Boot. I can't get that to boot in UEFI either, and I've done it different ways. I've done it with NTFS, I've done it with FAT32. I've tried both of these images here to see whether that would work, because it would boot this Cloverlight and it would actually get the ISO to take over the USB, and you would have to bring it back again if you wanted to boot the menu. So I can't remember exactly how that worked, but that's, in a nutshell, that's how it worked. So this is the sort of thing I've been on all last week, including EzeeLinux OS, and having a look at Debian as well, which is the 9.5 stretch. So it's got to the point now where I said, really, I don't want to use Windows 10 VirtualBox to do this. I want to try and do it as native as I can in Linux. So I was on the lookout for something to use in Linux without using the Windows 10 VirtualBox. Now you can write to the USB. So if I was to put my USB in now, it will be available in Windows 10. It'll be just like any other normal operating system on a computer. I'll plug it in now, and there it is, USB drive. So I can write to the USB, not a problem. So if you're looking to do that, it can be done easy if you cannot work it out. But what I've found, now that's shut Windows 10 down. Now the things I've found is this. Now I wanted to take one USB. I'm going to have to take two because I need a Windows 10 on there as well now. Normally most people are writing Windows 10 to a USB using Rufus, either in Wine in Linux or in a Windows 10 VirtualBox or a Windows 10 PC or laptop. So no longer is that the case. This thing here, Woe USB, will do that for you. Now there's a .deb file here for 64-bit and 32-bit. There's also FOSS-Mint and Web Update. I've got a few things from Web Update before. So this is a PPA, but I would have to think that whenever a .deb file is available, that's probably the best way to go rather than put in a PPA. I've tried this, it works. So that's the first step. Now I'm going to make a video on that one. I've installed Linux Mint 19 on my test laptop, and I'm going to show you, because I've already got it installed on this machine here, as you can see. So I'm going to show you how that's done. And on a separate video, we're also going to be doing this. I'll show you how to install this. This is multi-system. Now this may be well known to people, maybe, I don't know, but I've been to this website many times and used many things, and it's mainly for the yummy Windows 10 one that I was showing you. And easy to boot, I think, might be on here, but you got this Sardu, Yummy, Xboot, all these other ones. But what I've found works the best is this one here, is multi-system. So that's the one. Multi-system, there it is. Create a multi-boot USB from Linux. Now, I've got about 4 or 5 Linux booting from this, and I will show you, I'll take a photo of it when I boot it, and I'll put it in the video. And I'll show you how to install that. So that's what I've been up to. So I haven't sort of slackened off in any way. I've been doing a heap of work, but it's like you're doing all this work and you're getting nowhere fast. But it sometimes you just got to do the research in Linux to find out if you really, really want to get something done in there and you want to just be Linux only, then seems as though a lot of people are making more programs available every day, and these are the two things that I've found that are working quite sweet. So I can only take photos when I boot them up, so I could do small video, but they don't really come out too well, so I'll just take a couple of photos on each video. So I'll be doing those, and I'll be probably doing a video on Debian install and how to get that up and running. I've been pulling my hair out trying to get Debian running in a VirtualBox at this point. and there's a few things. I've done Debian before, but I haven't really run it. I've just installed it, but I was doing that on wireless and that was back then in the days when I didn't really have as much knowledge on Linux as I do now. So that's another thing. So if we have a look at this here, I'll quickly start that up. So what I'm going to do is an install of this, and I'm going to get rid of this, even though I've got it the way I want it. I'm going to do all the research and all the websites and whatever for the video, and I will put them in the show notes on what I've done. Now I'm hoping that that the beauty about making videos is the fact that when you put the videos up, I'm not trying to show people that I know everything about Linux. I show them what I know, but then you get the comments from people that can be very helpful, and some people that know much more than me, and they sort of point me in the right direction, and I really appreciate that. And that's what I love about the comments and Linux itself, is those sorts of things. So here's my Debian install. It's still pretty raw, but it's the multimedia repos that I was trying to get in, and the multimedia repos needs a sign-in key, and I was having all sorts of problems trying to get that sign-in key in. And every night after work you spend a few hours trying to do things, hopefully to make a video and show people what you're up to, and all last week that just didn't happen. So sometimes that's just the way it is. So yep, that's what I've been up to. So I'm going to be making a video on the Woe USB. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but and also multi-system, multi-boot. And I need to take that multi-boot with me over east to Melbourne. So at the end of this month I'll be over there, and hopefully I can cleanse my brother's soul with not having Windows on his computer. He's been complaining it's very slow and laggy and all sorts. So, and that's probably just another example of Windows 10 on a computer that's probably just can't handle it, which is what my daughter bought. She ended up buying a much more powerful one. So I have that laptop sitting here for testing as well. So yeah, even though you buy brand new laptops doesn't mean that they're that the hardware in it is capable of running this system. Sometimes it's not. But there are things that somebody pointed me to, a gentleman by the name of Jack Russell, pointed me to a video from Tech Yes City in how to optimize Windows 10, and that was a very, very interesting video as well. So I can put the link to that if you want in the show notes, but I think most people who watch my videos are maybe Linux, I would say. I'm not sure. But if you are Windows and you're just interested in Linux and watching these videos, then I'll put it up there because it might help you out. So that's where I'm at with that. I just thought I'd put a video up and explain where I've been all week. I was on with Toss today, and we were talking with Spatry. He's back, and he was also on BigDaddyLinux Live as well. So that was Friday night with Total OS today, and also BigDaddyLinux Live. It was on Saturday night. So that was Saturday morning and Sunday morning respectively for my times anyway, and Friday night, Saturday night, Eastern Standard Time in America. So there are some videos coming up. Hopefully all goes well and I can get those done, and I'll show you how to make multi-boot systems and how to write Windows 10 to a USB. If you're only running Linux but you've got friends that need it done, and you download the ISO, and then you want to write it to USB for a friend or for yourself or for someone else or whatever, it always comes in handy to know how to do these things in Linux, just in case you need it. You just never know. So I hope you enjoyed this little chat, and I'll be posting some videos hopefully this week, back on normal track hopefully, and thanks for watching.